everybody, this is Chef Victoria, Ellen Victoria Lucky from Victoria's Kitchen, and today I just wanted to do a quick and easy, a really quick and easy made from scratch pizza, just so how everybody can see how simple and easy it is, okay? So just send me a comment or post a comment up there letting me know if you're having problems viewing it or seeing it, if you have any questions, all right? So I have the stove preheated to 425 degrees. Now I like a thin type of crust pizza, so I'm going to make an adult pizza for my husband and I, then I'm going to make one for the kids. And we have little kids, three little ones that are under the age of 7, so you know we're introducing more and more flavors to them. So we want to keep theirs a little simple and not as spicy. So first I'm going to start with my husband and I pizza so you can see a variety of different flavors that we're going to do. So we're going to start with 1 cup of flour. You can use all-purpose flour. And Fleshman's pizza crust. Now I really like this pizza crust for when I'm in a rush, okay? Now you can all yeast, okay? So we're just going to pour that in there. And you don't have to worry about proofing this yeast yet because it's rise yeast. So you don't have to proof it. And proofing is when you take the yeast, you pour it in the water. 2 1/4 teaspoons of our yeast. And then 3/4 teaspoon of salt. So what you're going to want to do is, if you only have a 1/4 teaspoon measurement, you're just going to take that 1/4 teaspoon measurement and do it 3 times. Because that's going to be 3/4 teaspoon. And some people say, oh, that's too much salt. And you're going to use table salt. Use table salt. It mixes better when you're making crusts and like doughs with your bread. Okay, so we got that. And we're going to use 1.5 tablespoons of organic pure cane sugar. Okay. Alright, so we got our flour, we got our yeast, we got our sugar, we got our salt. And now we're going to go get our 2/3 cup of warm water. Now you want your water to be warm to the touch. And that's because you want to make sure that you activate your yeast. Yeast will not activate if your water is too cold, and it definitely will not activate if your water is too hot. So you want to make sure it's warm to the touch. Warm water in there. Let's get it a little warmer. Warm to the touch. Not steaming hot, but warm to the touch. Your yeast needs a warm environment to grow. Not a hot environment, but a warm environment. Into the 2/3 cup of warm water, we're going to add, don't care too much for vegetable oil, because pour that right into your 2/3 cup of warm water. And you can just, and then I also like to add just a pinch of it, a little bit of the adult pizza, now I'm using organic seasoning, so they're stronger in flavor. A little bit of cumin powder, which you can ground up yourself when you get before you pour your warm water and oil mixture in it. 2/3 cup of water and 3 tablespoons of oil. Alright, once you get a look, this is what we have so far. Now, you may say, you know, that just a nice consistency of dough that we want to get to, okay? So right now, it's looking a little back, and it's a little harder to fix. Little by little, until I get a nice dough ball in your hand with flour whenever it gets sticky. And like I said, it's going to differ. Sometimes it just depends. To the side there. Get a little bit more flour. Because I'm also put a little more into knead for about 4 minutes, or until we feel that our doughs, especially for this pizza dough, you know, I would just say get used to the way the consistency of your dough needs to be. Or it's good to follow the basic rules and techniques, but you'll also learn that you're going to be doing what flows best and works for you, okay? It's like you take the basic information that they give you, and then you go from there, all right? So I'm just going to take this pizza dough. It's still got a little stickiness to it. Victoria likes to get as much from her bowl as possible. Some people just tell me to give it up, but I like to get everything from my bowl that I put into it. Alright, we're going to get this dough nice and ready. Now remember to keep some flour to the side in case you need it, because when your dough gets sticky, you're going to need that flour. But at the same time, you don't want to over flour your dough. Okay? I know it sounds like a lot of rules, but just stay with me here, okay? It may sound like a lot of rules. Alright, so Look how nicely this is so far, right? So flour is going to help you better control your dough. So what I'm going to do is get flour in my hands. I already floured my work surface. All right. I'm going to use the palm of my hands. Use the palm of your hands, right? Use the palm of your hands. Not your fingers. If you squeeze it, it's going to get sticky and it's going to mess up the consistency of your dough. So a lot of times every time I'm teaching the kids how to make their own doughs, I say act like your fingers are broke and only your palms work, okay? Push down, you push together, fold it in, okay? I need a little more flour. So I'm pushing in, pulling up, pushing down, pushing in, pulling up, pushing down. And there are different methods of kneading that people use, and like I said, you learn the basics and you go from there, because sometimes one method doesn't work for one person. Everybody's different, and it's not that you're doing the wrong thing, you're just doing what works best for you. There are people that have different methods for kneading their doughs, and I tried it, you know, when I first started learning how to cook and get into it, and it didn't always work for me, so I had to just do what worked for me. And then also I found that it goes with the oiliness of your skin. Some people need more flour, some people don't. So just remember, pretend like your fingers are broke. And we're just kneading that dough. See, my hands have a tendency of needing more more flour when I'm kneading my dough. Sometimes I have oily skin. Sometimes I have dry skin. Sometimes it just depends on my environment and where I am. Let's get a little more flour. So we're kneading pizza dough was our flour, our salt, our sugar, our water, warm water. Mix it together, and I put in a little few. My husband's flavor palette. Everybody has a different flavor palette. Seasons. You could also put some jerk seasonings in this if you want. Just okay. And it's really quick and easy to make this dough. You know, after a hard day work, you can even pizzas, veggie pizzas, meat trio pizzas. You can make barbecue chicken pizzas with the white bechamel sauce, bacon and ranch pizza. Alright, so the good thing I said once again about using this fat ingredients and the wet ingredients, and we also don't have to let it sit this particular yeast in this particular recipe. As soon as we finish the dough, we pull it out on our pizza pan. Now, I have a 12-inch pizza pan. Poured oil on it. I like to put a lot of oil on my pizza pan because it helps crisp up the crust. I like it really crispy. Now to just take your hand and smudge that grease all around, or you can get fancy. Even outer ring part. That outer ring part right there, right here, all over the place. Crisp, nice and well. All right. So we are going to roll out our pizza dough onto our pizza pan. Now, if you didn't have really start from the center and go like that, but you don't want to rip it. So if you don't have a rolling pin to roll out your dough, your pizza dough, just go like this. Now sometimes I would even get my dough knife and cut this in half and use to make two different pizzas. But let's just see where we go with from here. And that just depends on how thin you like your pizza. So you don't always have to have certain kitchen tools to get the job done right. It helps a lot, but if all you have is your hands a lot of times, then you're good to go for the most part. Even if you don't have a chef knife, if you have a butter knife or a paring knife, now I'm not saying you can't get better than that chef knife. That's your best friend in the kitchen. Your chef knife and your rubber spatula. But even if you just have your hands, just do that. Or a butter knife, anything you can just to get started on work in the kitchen, okay? And see, I so-called roll this dough out with my hands. I didn't even use a rolling pin yet. But if you do have a rolling pin, just make sure you roll it out evenly, okay? That center is going to be your point of start. So I'm just going to continue using my hands to go from here. Okay, nice and even. Now, you can also get some oil if you want, get some oil, dip your brush in there, and you can just go across your pizza like that. And that'll just help it crisp up a little more, give it some more flavor. And then, depending on how much seasonings you put in the dough, you can put a little more on top. Just don't overdo it. Some more Italian seasonings on there, because I know I didn't put too much dough up there. Too much seasonings in my dough. A little bit of garlic powder. A little bit of smoked paprika. Now, this isn't a fancy pizza, so it's just like when you make messy burgers or messy sandwiches, or like when you're doing rough cuts. It is what it is. It's a home style, okay? Use your fingers to go around and make sure the sides are spread out evenly. Because, you know, this is going to puff up. You can even do a stuffed crust, and maybe that's what we'll do. I like doing stuffed crusts with thick cuts of cheese. Like if you have a block of cheese, or even if you have the cheese sticks, just line them around on the outside. But if you just have shredded cheese, you can use that. So we'll do like a stuffed crust with the shredded cheese and just layer it around the edges, okay? Just layer it around the edges. Make sure you have that dough extending all the way out to the edge of the pizza dish, so you can fold over that cheese that you're putting in. So we'll just do a quick stuffed crust. Okay? Thin out that middle a little bit. Alright, so we did our little stuffed crust. You see how we got that cheese going around like that? You see? You got that cheese going around that crust like that. That's for just when you have shredded cheese and you want to do a stuffed crust. Okay? Alright. So, we're going to fold over these edges, okay? Fold it over. Just fold it over. Just folding it over. And that's because we're doing the stuffed crust, okay? Just folding over, folding it over, folding over, fold it over. And be careful how much you fold it over. You don't want to fold over several times the same piece of dough, because then your pizza dough is not going to bake evenly on all sides. We want everything to bake evenly so it can be done at the same time and have the same consistency, same baking consistency. So we're just... See how we're taking this, and let's maybe go from this way so you can get a better view. I'm taking this piece of dough where the edge of the pan is, where I've shredded cheese in order to make that stuffed crust. And then I'm going to go around and just seal it off. I'm going to seal it off. You can seal it off with your fingers, or you can gently get a knife or a fork and seal it off. Just whatever floats your boat. Just sealing off those edges. You could also put marinara sauce in your stuffed crust. It tastes really good. Or some peppers in there. That's really good too. So it'd be like a stuffed pepper marinara cheese crust. It's really good, trust me. Delish. Fun to make. Alright, so let's take a quick look at what we got so far for our shredded cheese stuffed crust pizza. And like I said, you can put shredded cheese in there. I prefer thick pieces of cheese to be in there, like mozzarella sticks, and sliced up. And then you can add the marinara sauce in it and put ingredients inside the crust and then seal it off. That's good too. Okay, so let's take a look at our ingredients that we have here. Let's see what we have here. So, for our ingredients that we have that I'm going to put on my pizza and my husband's pizza, I have a variety of organic bell peppers. I have yellow, red, and orange organic bell peppers. We have some pepperonis. Put a little bit up there or save that for the kids. Of course, we have our organic marinara sauce. Now, you can do an organic store-bought brand marinara sauce, or you can do your own marinara sauce. Okay? And then I like to add a little cilantro to it. So we're going to chop that cilantro up. So we're going to set our pizza to the side, our pizza dough to the side, and let's chop up a few ingredients to put on this pizza. Okay. So let's bring back our cutting board. One thing I like about, or I like a lot of things about the dough knife or the scrapers, is that you just scrape the ingredients off so easily. Okay. I'm going to flip it, wipe it off, cutting board, and we're going to go get our chef knife. Now, as you see, I've already chopped up and diced up some of those organic bell peppers, yellow, red, and orange. Now, like I said, I love using as much of my ingredients as I can. I do not let food go to waste. I mean, you can't afford to let food go to waste. Why would you want to do that anyway? So my trick for when you have these pieces for the tops of the bell peppers, cut around it. You can still use that. Don't waste that. Just cut around it. And it'll pop right off. Or if you have a spoon, you can just get the spoon and scoop that top out. You see that? See this? And these have already been rinsed. Just flip it over and just chop it. Don't let that food go to waste. You better find a way to be creative. Find a way to be creative. Use your knuckles to guide your fingers and make sure to guide your knife so you don't cut your fingers, okay? Trust me. I used to be scared of the chef knife when I first started cooking. I was horrified. I wouldn't want to sharpen my knife, but I found out that a dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife. And the reason why that is because with a dull knife, you have to apply more pressure. So you're applying all that extra pressure, and you're going to chop something off that you don't want to get chopped off. So you have to be very careful with that. So I'm going to do the same for this red organic bell pepper that I have here. They smell so good. I mean, you can just smell how sweet they are. And it tastes delicious when you put them in the oven for about 25 minutes on your pizza. It tastes delicious. So you can flip it over, just leave it like this. And I like chunks. I don't like them really little. I like them in between. Okay, so I like those slices right there. I like some of them big, some of them little. This is just rough cuts. These are not mise en place, or where everything's in place and juliennes and your certain cuts you got going on here. Then I'm going to chop up some of my organic cilantro. Cilantro has a really good in-depth flavor. If you go on to Chipotle, if you have Mexican food or Spanish food, you know what cilantro tastes like. Guys, you're cutting by your knuckles. Okay? And then you can just do a chop. Alright. You just want to make sure you respect the knife. Like, I'm kind of scared to say don't be afraid of the knife, because you need to have some type of fear. Because you don't want to get cut, but you need to have the right level of fear and respect of your knife. Okay? So we have that chopped cilantro, bell peppers. Now, I like to use serrano peppers. Serrano spicy! Yeah, it is spicy. It looks like a jalapeno pepper, but don't be fooled. Serrano peppers are spicier than jalapeno peppers. They're in a hotter class of peppers. Like I said, they look like jalapeno peppers, but they are definitely not jalapeno peppers. So I rinsed this off and let it dry. These are also good for open fire grills as well, or if you have a gas stove like I do, you can just do it right over the eye. But I am not going to roast these yet. I'm just going to put them straight on the pizza. But you don't need a lot of this. You do not need a lot of this. They're delicious. They give you a good level of spice kick, but you do not need a lot of it. And so when you're using spicy peppers, what you're going to want to use when you're cutting is Goggles, no lie. If you have goggles, use them. Go to Dollar Tree and get some. Or if you already have glasses, you don't have to worry about it. But you need plastic gloves because you do not want to cut this and have this, even after you rinse and wash your hands several times, you don't want to have this on your finger and you go rub your eye. That is a no-no. Like if somebody said, put on plastic gloves when you're chopping up spiced peppers, okay? So just cut that lid off after we've already rinsed it. We're not going to do that much because, like I said, it's a very spicy pepper. Just going to do a rough cut. Just the rough cut, nothing fancy here. And I'm just going to put that in with the cilantro. And like I said, this is not for children, not at all for children. Don't get it to your kids. You're going to set them on fire. Don't do that. Alright? Now, when I pick those back up, I'm going to put some more gloves on. Alright, we're done with this. And clean up as you go. Clean up as you go. Alright, so let's bring our pizza back. Get a spoon, marinara sauce. Let's sauce it up. 1, 2. You don't want too much marinara sauce, especially if you put the marinara sauce in your crust, which I did not do, but you don't want too much marinara sauce. Sometimes people get a little overly excited. Start from the center. Start from the center and just smooth it out. Don't dig into it because you're going to rip your dough, but smooth it out. Smooth it out. Work it out. Smooth it out. Work it out. Okay? You don't think that's enough, but that's enough. You do not want too much marinara sauce. Too much of a good thing messes everything up, right? We all know that. That's just a life thing that we all know. So that's enough of that marinara sauce. Right? Now we can do our cheeses. Organic mozzarella. Now remember, we already stuffed our crust with some of this. So we're just adding more to it. We're going to get some more organic mozzarella cheese. I like it cheesy. Oh gosh, this mozzarella is bad. Oh, no, we don't want any of that. Alright, so okay, so we're just gonna do, that's all the mozzarella we're gonna use for that one. Alright, so we're gonna do some of our peppers. Now the organic sweet peppers, now I didn't touch those other peppers yet. So a bit of pepperonis, little pepperonis, mini pepperonis. Alright, and I'm going to put on another plastic glove and do some cilantro and serrano peppers. Now I have on this plastic glove because I have some serrano peppers on here. Alright? So this is a really quick and easy bell pepper, serrano pepper, which is very spicy, cilantro, mozzarella, organic pizza with marinara sauce, and we did a stuffed crust. Right here we had shredded cheese, so we just used the shredded cheese and stuffed the crust. Okay? Alright, so we're going to put this in the oven at 425 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes, just depending on how you liked your dough baked. And